So I have a like Pinterest board full of a bunch of like different product renders and stuff like that. And today I want to be going and making this little like cute little keyboard render inside Blender. So yeah, let's just hop straight in. I'm just gonna copy this and chuck it on a PureF board, and we can just boot up Blender. Okay, so yeah, use my PureF board. Just paste the image in. Cool. And then this is going to be chucked on my second monitor, or I can just go stick it down here in the corner so you guys can actually see it. So yeah, let's just go hop straight into the modeling of this. Nice. And with PureF, you can just click on the little thingy, always on top, so Control Shift A for that. And we need hotkeys. There we go. Cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to get done is getting the little like casing for everything. Or actually, let's get the keys so we can get the casing sizing correct. So for the keys, we're just going to take this cube, scale down the top a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to go push it up a little bit, so it's kind of they almost tilted, they're leaning a bit up like that. Okay, cool. Now let's go add in a bevel modifier. So let's just go bevel like that. Cool. So this can obviously we can adjust it as we want, and we can adjust the resolution. Okay. Yeah, nice. Now the front needs to be bring down like that. So I think actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and instead of doing the bevel, I'm gonna subdivide this. Now, if I was to just subdivide, if I didn't have, that's wrong, add a subdivision surface. You see, if I just subdivide it, you see it says this, which is not exactly what we want. So what we do is we have our bevel, and you see, so if I had one, like a bevel of 1, you see like this, it does something, but what I'm going to change my settings to is I'm going to change my segments to 2, so you see now we have that, and then change the profile to 1. Okay, so you see now every edge has that, and that kind of like protects it almost, and you see now the uh, subdivision can work and can smooth it out, and we can change how much the subdivision works on it with the bevel. Cool. So you see, that is a good way of getting clean things like that. Then with this, I'm just going to go inset it, and then we can just go, so I to inset, I'm going to go extrude, and it should go push it up. I'm just going to go scale down like that. Okay, nice. Now you can see we have some problems with this, so let's just go here. Let's see, I think it might just be the fact with our bevel, so let's just scale this in. Okay, so you see here, what we can do is we can change the settings of this. So let's just go select all these edges up top here. These are the edges we want to have beveled, or like have the modifier protect, or the subdivision protect. So here there, we can go atom, mean bevel weight, drag that up to 1. And then on the thing here, we can change this to weight. Now, if we turn our subdivision back on, you can see only some of the edges are doing the bevel. Okay, so you see now this isn't, well, if I turn the subdivision off, you see it's over here. So it's just these edges that we've selected. Okay, that's cool. So now what we can do is we can manually go add in edges for stuff that we want to kind of keep the edge. So we can kind of do like this. And then what we can do is we can go select the inside. So we can, on the subdivision, or let's turn this bevel off just real quick and then turn the subdivision on just so we can select these edges. So with these, I want to select the top like ones up here, the sides like this, and yeah, there, and then drag the bevel weight up. So it's gonna make this like 0.2, and then we can update it. So let's turn this on, and then we can see here. I think we also have to get these outer edges. So through these and change this to mean bevel weight to 0.2. Okay, and you see that now we have a clean result, and you can see as we change this, it will kind of gradually go updated. So actually, we might be able to max it out, and you see there we got a pretty clean result. Nice. And then obviously all of this can be updated, so you can change the proportions of it, and all of it works with the subdivision, so you don't have to worry about it like not was it but if you mess up or anything like that. So it almost looks kind of like it starts out more dipped and then kind of goes more flat at the end. Not sure. You can see how that looks. You can also try different matte caps. So if you go here, so Studio Matcap, get more of a reflexive one. So I think the default is like this. If you want to kind of check the more the ridges of how it looks, that kind of shows off the shape of it better. But yeah, cool. I'm pretty happy with this. Now, what we can do is we can just go add so just collapse these two and add a array modifier. Just bump up the factor a little bit so we have a good gap. Okay, and now we have two keys. Cool. So it might be a little bit too tall, so I'm going to push this up. Okay, and there we go. That's pretty good. Okay, now we can go Shift A, add in a plane. Now this should fit relatively close. So let's drag it to the bottom so it actually, like, we'll see the whole shape. Cool. So there you go. So let's just go scale up slightly, just so we have, or we can, yeah. So I'm just gonna scale up so we just have like a bit of a gap, or we can keep it like, yeah. Actually, let me rephrase that. So I'm gonna scale this down so it lines up perfectly on the side, and then we can also just shift it over in edit mode. So we just push it over like there, and then we can select this edge, push it up so you can just see it, and then same thing here. Just push this out until we get it just to the edge. Okay. And the reason we do this is so we can find the exact center. So now that we have this, we can just go in object mode. So can't be in edit mode, you have to be in object mode. Find this object menu, set origin to geometry. You see now it's exactly in the center. Okay. And now what we can do is we can kind of go extrude scale. This is not going to be actually like a perfect thing. We can also try, if we go inset this, so we go we have to do I again. So you see there. Now what we can do, I think we have a couple faces on top of each other. Hold on. Let's just go undo. Okay, now we just have one face. What we can do, it's a little bit of a convoluted way of doing this, but basically you press I to inset, like here. And then now we have these diagonal edges. And then from here, we can go G twice to edge slide in. So you see how we're sliding it in. But now we can hold Alt, and I'll take it the other way. Okay? And you see that actually gives us a good kind of thing. So you can use Alt to bring it in and out. So we can give it how big of a gap we want. Okay? So basically, like that should be good. And then, or we just take it out as far as we want for the edge. Okay. It might not be perfect, but yeah. There, and then we can select everything and then go I to inset. Press I again, so it's not individual. And you see this. And then we can kind of decide how big of a gap we want. Cool. So then here, we can just take this whole thing up to whatever height we want. And then we can just take the center. So let's just go Alt left click, select the center, and just extrude down like that. And then so just kind of to there. Okay. So you can now just change the size however you want. Just hold Alt. So there. Nice. And then we can just go extrude down. And then we can just go F to fill. Cool. So we go. There's a good start. Now, you can see in the reference, it kind of looks like it has almost a angle to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, go edit mode, select the top, and then on the left, we have this tool right here, which you can hover over it, you see it's the shear tool. Now what happens with this is if I just drag this edge, you can see it goes and actually angles it for you. So you see if you rotate, it will kind of, so because it rotates, you see it doesn't keep the vertical lines. Whereas if we use this, it just pushes it up and down like that. Okay, so yeah, we can set whatever angle we want in the settings, the bottom left. Or we can just, so you can set whatever you want, or just eyeball it to whatever value you need. But yeah, so that looks pretty good, and I'm happy with that. Now, same thing, we need to go add in a bevel. So let's just go bevel modifier, and we're going to do this slightly differently. Firstly, I'm going to grab all the outer edges, like this. Cool. And we can go mean bevel weight, and then set this to weight. There we go. So we can set this to whatever amount we want. Set the segments as well, and then we can also go select the inner edges. So let's just select these. We might actually have to select the top. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. So yeah, so select all the corners, main bevel weight. Yeah, you see that. And then what we can do is if we keep it selected, we can also give it a amount of the other one, because obviously it's never actually the same like amount on the outside as the inside. So here we could change this to like 0.5, and then you can see now the inside is a different amount of bevel. And if you keep your selection, then you can change it as you go along. So you make it like 0.2, and then really round out the outer edges. Yeah. I think if you select the top edge, it may kind of help it transition between them. So you see like that, but then you see now they kind of are the same amount. So if you leave it like that and don't push it too far, so you see there where they kind of start clipping, or if you just fine with cleaning it up, it will be fine. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go select the inside edges. We can also just go side view and just do this, and I'll select all 4 of them in edge select mode. So you see edge select, and then just go do our best to match up with the corner of this. So we just go adjust it till it looks like a pretty good amount. Yep, we can update the segments, and yeah, nice. Now we can just go add another bevel, and then this one will just go work on all the other edges. So here, if we go clean up this model, these bevels will look nicer, but you can also see what they look like in like shade smooth. But so you can just go right click shade smooth, or I think it might be W. No, it is right click, and then just bump up the amount, and you'll see. So we have some shading issues, but we will fix that up. Cool. That is looking pretty cool. Nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this first bevel. If you want, before we do that, we can also go Shift D to duplicate, and you see. So now we have a second one up here. Let's just call this. Let's just go M to move. M as in move. Go click New Collections and call this backup. So there. I usually quite like doing that, and we can just disable that. So now, if we mess up, we can just come back to the shape that we have. Okay. Then on here, we can go here. So Control A, we'll just go open a little drop down and click Apply. Now, over here, what we can do is we need to fix up these bevels. So the way we can do that is these have the exact amount of vertices. So what we can do is we can just go select these two, J to join, yep, J to join, just delete these vertices, and then we can just select this edge and just go F to fill. There. Okay, and then the bevel will be a lot cleaner, and you won't have any, or you have less shading issues, and I'll show you how to get it even better. So we can easily just delete these vertices, like this, and then we can just go select this edge. We can even use a Blue Tools bridge, but you just hold F. There we go, and now our entire thing has been filled. Nice. Now from here, we can basically just go add an edge group in here, because you can see we have kind of these shading issues. So what we can do is just go to whatever like bevel amount we have. We have 2 options here, actually. We could go do something similar to what we did. So we're going to add another bevel, change the same, so change it to 2, and then profile, set it to 1, and then we can just bring this edge in a little bit, you see here, and then you can see that will kind of go clean up the edges. Or you could have just done it manually just by adding an edge here, and then just bevel, and you see there, we'll just add like edge loops in. But you see that, so just because we added that little edge, we can use this to kind of now clamp in those shadows. So you see here, it's kind of just if you have a flat edge or not. So we kind of just, if we pull it out, it goes and cleans it up. But yeah, you see, now that's looking very nice. And you can see here on this, we have kind of a little edge. So I'm going to go Control R, take it here. And what we can do is you can press E for even, and you see now snapping to kind of the angle of the top edge. But we want it to be snapping to the bottom edge. We can press F for flipped, and there we go. Alternatively, you could just go S, Z, and 0, and that will flatten it to 0. Nice. Now, I'm just going to go Control B to bevel, so you see like that. We could also bump up the segments, so like that, because what I'm going to do, actually, so yeah, just bevel it with 2 edges. You can scroll up and down on your mouse wheel to change them out. But so something like that. And then we can just go Control R to add edge group. I'm going to bevel it again and make it so it's got a smaller amount like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to go, basically, actually, I've got a better way of doing this. Select this, go I to inset. You see, doing like this. So we set whatever we want, and then we can just go change the depth. Okay, so you see here. Actually, I think the thickness is going the wrong way. So yeah, get it to whatever amount you want, and then the depth. And you see we can pull that in now. Okay. Only thing is, when we change that, there's a good chance that these all, because basically the bevel will work off the smallest angle it possibly can. So what we might have to do is select everything, set our mean bevel weight back to 0, and then just select the edges we want to have beveled. So there, mean bevel weight, set it to 1, and then this bevel right here, we got to set that to weight. Yeah. think. Hold on. Yep, that should be working. But this first one is for I think yeah. Same problem. So let's just set this also to weight. So that this is our like shading protection one, and then this one is also on weight, and then this is the actual bevel. So then this one we can set to angle. No, none of it's working. Oh well, we are just going to have to go and apply some bevels or add some in manually. Not fun, but oh well. So here we can even just go apply this bevel protection one or shading protection. Get rid of the bevel there, and then just select our edges we want, and then mean bevel weight to 1, bevel, cool, and then weight. I think we had it like 4, cool, and there we go. We got a pretty decent result. And then yeah, we basically just go manually bevel these. So just select these edges right here. You don't even really need to do the inside edge, just the outside. So just bevel, and we can add like 2 like that. Okay, and you see, looks pretty nice. And you can obviously just go select the whole thing depending on how thick of a gap we want. So we can even just bring this all the way down. So it's almost just like a seam between 2 sections. And then similar to before, let's just go add a edge in here. And this is just going to be for the shading. So yeah, E for even, and then F for flipped. So it's actually flat. Cool. So like if you push these in further, it will be better in terms of the shading. Okay, nice. And we can also drop, I don't think this is, it is working off of bevel weight. What do you mean this is beveling? No, I don't know what the hell is actually going on there, but oh well. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks pretty good. Shade smooth works nice. And there we go. We have the main piece of the keyboard done. Cool. Now let's get this little cable section done. Cool. So for the back, this is going to be some sort of like USB-C plug. So what I can do is just go add in a cube, and I can just go, yep, edit mode, so tab, SZ, scale it down. Okay. And then, yeah, so what we can do, same thing as before. So we could actually just do this manually. So we can just go here, Control B to bevel. And I think if we go C, it will clamp it so you can't go further than the actual shape. Set whatever resolution you want. Okay. And then we can go, again, scroll wheel up and down to change the resolution. Bevel modifier. And I think because you see here, same as we did before. So because these two are on top of each other, that counts as like the angle being incorrect. So it's just select everything, go M and by distance. So merge by distance. And you see there, now it's working correctly. So we can set this to whatever radius we want, like that. I don't know why I clicked keyframe. Yeah, right click, shade smooth. And then again, Control R. And we can just go Control B to bevel this. Set it to like 1. And then that should just clean up the shadows a little bit. Same thing on the top and bottom. You can just go I to insert it slightly. And that'll just help a little bit. Okay. Now for the top to get the little circle, we can basically just take this top, inset it a little bit, and then we can take this edge. So I can go select this one, hold Control, it'll select the other one, and then what we have to do is we actually have to get it into the center. So to do that, we can just go Control R, add edge loop, Control R, add edge loop. Because there's an n-gon here, which means a face with more than 4 vertices, the edge loop doesn't work. So we have to do it top and bottom. Select this, J to join, so I'll just get an edge in the center. Let's figure out which view I need to be. Okay, back view. And then, yep, we can basically just take these edges and then snap it into the center. And the way to snap it is going up to the top here, going and clicking a vertex. Okay, and then with that, we can go G, X, push it over and hold Control. Again, so here, hold Control to select G, X, hold Control. And you see I hover over the vertex and that adds my vertex snapping. Okay, do you see that? All good. So we can go there, M by distance. Now that's all good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale this up slightly, and then I'm just going to go inset it, and that's going to be very similar to before. You see, you kind of have this little protection right here for the shadows. It also helps with bevels, all that good stuff. So here we have a clean like shape, and I'm going to do the same thing, extrude out like a bit, and then I'm going to extrude. There we go. Okay, and you see that now we have some pretty clean shading there. I'm not sure in terms of what these edges are, it might just be something to do with the bevel. So you see if I pull this back slightly, so I think it's basically when I just drew all the way to the edge. Okay, yeah. And then we might just have to go like merge the vertices later, or just pull this value in a little bit so it doesn't go and touch the edge. Or we can also just scale this whole thing up a little bit like that. Okay, so set whatever you want like there, and then just make sure those edges aren't touching so you don't have any shading issues. Okay, and then yeah, all good there. We can probably leave that, and then we're going to use this to, well, from here we're going to have the piece come out. So this might be a bit too thin, so I can select this whole thing. I can even take this whole, oh, it's not going to work really well. But what we can do is go X mirror up here on the top right, and then just push this in, and then just scale it like up or down. And then also get this. So we might just be able to go outside this whole G. So there, that worked somehow. Okay. And then this piece needs to be we can do this, select this edge, or just select the whole thing. So go face select, and then we just go Alt left click, and then Alt Shift left click. So here, and then select this one, Alt Shift left click, and then we can go scale Shift Y, and then push it up. There we go. What we can also do is we push it all the way, and then these vertices we can just select the two and go M at center. So you see there, so just select the two, M at center, so we're able to actually just push it further. But yeah, so there, I think that's a more decent size. And then make it a bit longer, and they're pretty close to the original. Might also go shorten this, and then we can just go push that in like that. Okay, nice. Cool. So now we need to get this whole thing set up. So the cable, we can go Shift A. We have a couple different ways we can do this. We could just go Shift A, add a, I think my best way of going to be able to do this is using a screw modifier for part of this. So I'm going to go Shift A, add a mesh plane. Okay. And then from this, we can go, like, pull it up. I'm going to go to edit mode, M at center, and I'm going to go G, X, and pull this out to the side. Okay. And I'll explain what I'm doing right here. I'm going to go add modifier and screw. Okay. And you see that. So now we have a circle. But what we can do is we can go screw, and you see now it goes further up. And if I go iterations, it will go again and again. Okay, so you see, now this is the start of it. Now from here, we can go set our resolution. We can also just like go as far as we want. And then, so set, basically it's going to be how like closely coiled it is. So there, and then just go iterations for how many times you want it to go over and over again. Okay, so something like there, or we can obviously just go line it up. So R, Y, 90. And then here we need this vertex to be lined up there. So let's go RX 180. There we go. And then we can do there. Maybe let's make this smaller. So I can basically take this, go G and Z. So now it's like more closely coiled. And then wherever this is, get this lined up. So let's just get that lined up. So maybe let's go push it slightly further. So there. Okay. So something like this should be good. And because I push that back, and then we'll kind of clean that up manually. So there. Okay. So that should be good. And we can kind of go end it by just cutting part of it if you want. So yeah, I'm just going to go apply this screw modifier. Okay. And then from here, I'm just going to go delete this bottom half. Okay. And then we can go extrude out like this, extrude out like that. So extrude X, extrude Y. Okay. And then these edges, we can just go Control B to bevel and go V for vertex. You see, you can actually edit it. So there. Okay. So you see there. So now we have this whole piece. Now what we can do, actually last piece, just go extrude Y, extrude that in, And then you can also bevel this edge if you want. So V, drop the resolution, very like that. Okay. You can also use the whole proportion editing stuff. We'll just go like there. Just get some sort of smooth transition between the two. Okay. And then what we can do is we can go F3 to search, or just go object, convert to curve. Okay. So you see here, now we have this like points-based curve. And in here, we can go geometry and add some thickness. Okay. And you see, that actually looks pretty good. We can go shade smooth, so just right click shade smooth. And yeah, I actually really like the look of that. Okay, and you can also use stuff like, Alt S will change the scale here. If we change back to a mesh, we can also mess around with it a little bit. But yeah, so get it all lined up. And yeah, looks pretty nice. So you aren't able to actually change the resolution because each one actually is the resolution. So you can, like if you take these, you can go like right click subdivide, that'll add more edges to it. But we can go subdivide it because if we look here, it is pretty like low poly. We can also go change this resolution here so it's more, actually no we can't. We can change the resolution here. So then, yeah, that's pretty consistent. And then we can go subdivide it. So basically you want to get like as close as you can to quads or squares. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, from that's pretty decent. So I'm going to go back to object, convert to mesh. Cool. So now you can see this is a mesh in Blender. And from here, we can go modifiers and add a subdivision. There we go. You see slightly smoother. But you see, kind of squished it down. So I might select everything and go Alt S, and that's called shrink and fatten. And there, now they're actually touching. And when you do that, so what I do, I'm actually going to put this back on my second monitor for now. So here, if you go Alt S to like there, you see we have offset even. Just do that just in case stuff doesn't work well together. And then, yeah, now we can right click shade smooth, and you can change the resolution of everything as you go along. Nice. Now, the next thing we need to do is go do this little connector. So at the core of it, we can actually use the screen modifier as well on that. Or we can just basically go add a circle. So I'm going to keep this pretty low res because I'm going to do similar thing, or yeah, we're going to do similar thing. We're going to bevel it. So let's go with like 12. Yep. Go GX. If you want to line this up, obviously if you go use the vertex snapping, you see it does like this. It's kind of hard to line it up in the center. But for lining up in the center, what we can do is go up here to the snapping, change it to center. Then GX, and you can see there, if we go on the middle vertex, then it lines up perfectly. And then same thing, we go GY, and we can go RX90, so now it's flat. And we can just start tracing the vertices. Actually, go vertex closest. Yep. Actually, same thing. So center, GZ, like that, and closest. Cool. So scale it up a little bit. Extrude Y, extrude scale, extrude out, extrude scale, extrude Y, extrude scale, extrude Y. Actually, I think that one just pushes all the way. And we can go F to fill. And then here I'm just going to go add edge loop like there and there. Select this in face select and just go extrude, scale, shift, Y like that. Okay. Cool. And as I can see when I'm working my matcap, I can see the normals are incorrect because the shading is a bit weird. The shadows should be down here. So I can select everything in edit mode. So go shift and N. Shift N to recalculate. And you see that that's better. Cool. And I'm just going to go inset this to kind of fix up just in case we need it. And same thing here. So select this F and then just go inset. Okay. So from here, we can just go add a subdivision. And then we go add a bevel. And then on this bevel, drag it above just by grabbing the corner, change it to 2, change the profile to 1, and then subdivision off. Let's see what the bevel is actually doing. Okay, so I think it's grabbing some of these edges. So let's drag this angle up a little bit. There we go. That should stop it from getting any other angles. Nice. Turn subdivision on. Let's see if that's good. Yeah. So we could obviously convert it over to the like mean bevel weight. And that will just give you more control over what edges have what depth and stuff. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. I might just make this whole thing like shorter. Let's grab that GY, scale Y a little bit as well. And then same thing, so just pull this whole thing backwards. Okay. And then for this final piece, we can just take this. Oh, I think so expertise. I don't know what happened there. I'm just going to take this, go Shift D to duplicate. I'm going to go P bar selection to make its own object, so it's separating it. I can just go extrude Y. I'm just going to push this in, or we can actually just delete the face, and then that will mean that's not beveling it, or subdividing it, or whatever. So here we just go inset, and we can just go extrude back like that. Okay, and then with that we can go change it to whatever like size we need. So basically just don't have the back piece go into the mesh. And then, yep, we can go Shift S, cursor selected. Just go add in a, it can just do like another circle. Okay, that did not work. So select this, Shift S, cursor selected. Yeah, we can go object, we can go Shift S and selection to cursor, not cursor selected. So now you see it snaps there. We can go RX90. There we go. Scale it down. And then we can just go drag it up like that. And just go add a subdivision. And from here, we're just going to go extrude. We need to be in vertex select to extrude it. Extrude Y. And we just go F to fill. Okay. And then we can just go inset like that. And that'll clean it up. Bump this up. Actually, I might just go bevel this instead. So let's go X vertices, F to fill. And then we can go bevel like this. And then we can go max it out. Actually, let's go subdivision before that. Or this is a bad piece. Might not have a good way of doing this. Maybe let's just go instead of this. We can actually go Shift S, cursor selected. Go Shift A, add a cylinder. Actually, I think our problem is basically just let's just go circle, change the vertices to like 24, RX90, scale it down. Okay, edit mode, extrude Y, F to fill, and then just go bevel. So that, and then just set the resolution till it kind of matches. So it's like basically all squares. Right click, shade smooth. That's good. And then here we can basically just go back here, Shift S, cursor selected, and then to rotate it around the pivot of that center piece, we can just go press the period key, or just go up here and change it to 3D cursor. And you see now if I rotate it, we'll go rotate around there. And then we just have to go Shift D to duplicate it, and we just have to go R, and go Y, and then we just have to do whatever 360. So a 360 divided by 3 is 120. So rotate 120 degrees, Shift D, rotate 120 along the Y, just make sure. There you go. And you see that. I think the norms might be inverted, so Shift N. Yeah, there you go. And you see now all of that works. Yeah, and there we have a fully finished model. Cool. So yeah, there we go. That's a good exercise to improve modeling skills, learn some tools. I think it turned out pretty decently. And obviously, you can go textures. And if you want, you can go check the first link in the description and grab my own modeling course, which will take you from making your first render or start to finish making your first render inside of Blender, which funny enough is also a keyboard. It'll take you through the modeling, the basics of Blender, the texturing, and the lighting is coming soon. Yeah, highly recommend check it out if you're interested. Or if not, there is another video. There'll be another video up here for you to watch. Oh. Then, also, you can also go join the free Discord down below that I've just launched, and you can go chat to me, chat to other people, share your renders, all that fun stuff. Highly recommend you go jump in there. And also, you can also click over here to watch another video that you might find interesting. Cheers.